Okay, welcome back. Yeah, I do feel like I'm talking kind of quieter today than I did last week. Like I mentioned before, because it's Saturday. I guess I feel like I talk louder on Friday. Also, I was thinking before maybe I should do my recordings like the day after therapy, because it's fresher in my head. Because I was thinking, I don't know. I kind of, yeah, I guess I was looking at my notes, but I wasn't really remembering everything that I wanted to. When I left the therapist, I remember I was in my car for like a half an hour, and I was just writing down a bunch of notes because I was afraid I was going to forget something. Which is like a weird new anxiety for me. It's like afraid to mention something. I guess it's weird. It's because I never really talk to anybody. It's like if I don't mention it here, then it's just gone forever, and that's like stressful to think about. Yeah, I don't know why I care that I have to record stupid stuff, but it's just a weird anxiety I have now. This isn't gonna go well. I should get that heart. No, well, okay. Okay, I wanted to talk about what we talked about in therapy a little bit. The main thing that sticks out that I remember was we did this. He tried to do this demonstration with a rope. I guess we were talking about how I mentioned for some reason that I don't. Maybe some of the reason why I don't talk that much is because I don't want to be like rude, or I don't want to cause like a problem. And we didn't really get to the deep into this as I thought we could have. I have this problem where I don't talk as much as I should because I feel like, oh shoot, I went the wrong way. Now how do I get over there? Yeah, I mentioned how like, well, sometimes I won't say something because it's just like, if we don't bring it up, then it kind of just goes away. I mean, so I don't like to bring things up that maybe could be uncomfortable, because it's just like, we'll just let it go and then it'll go away and we won't be uncomfortable. And then he said, he did this demonstration, which I'll talk about later, but he also said, like, which I want to talk about, he was saying, he's kind of saying, I feel like that's okay to be, to think about other people's feeling, and to not want them to be uncomfortable or to be rude to them. But if your own needs aren't getting met, then you have an obligation to yourself to bring the thing up and to talk about it. And he gave me some more homework. He's like, well, I said, well, that's interesting. I guess I never really thought about what my needs are. He was like, that's good. So you have a homework assignment. Like, think about what your needs are. And I want to try to do that here. Maybe I'll do that later. and he said he had a demonstration with he gave me a rope, and he he started shaking it. No, he gave me one end. This guy seems tough. Ah. And he was like, oh. Okay. He gave me one end and he held the other end and he started shaking it, and then he started to be like confrontational with me. He was like, he did a hypothetical where he was like, come on, I'm gonna die. I should just die. Well, let's try to get it down first. Okay. The first hypothetical he did was like, so Anthony, and he started shaking the rope. I loaned you $10 and you haven't given it back to me yet, and I really think you should. I think that's not fair what you've done to me. You're being really inconsiderate. And then I said, he told me how I felt. How did I feel when that happened? And I was being honest, and I just said, well, I didn't really feel bad because I know that I didn't loan you $10. So, so he was like, okay, so the hypothetical isn't good enough. So then he was like, he's like, I'll make it more personal. And I was like, ooh, this is going to be good. So he was like, Anthony, I know this is only your second appointment, but I really don't think you're trying as hard as you can. And I think you're really not making progress, and I'm really disappointed in you. And it was interesting because I still didn't feel anything. I wasn't upset. Okay, I know what to do. You can't hit me when I'm here, so just do this. Easy. Easy peasy. I felt bad that I didn't feel anything because I knew that I was supposed to. And I was starting to get worried. I was like, oh no, am I like a sociopath? But I told him, I'm surprised he didn't like try to go deeper with what I said back to him, which was like, well, I don't believe you, what you're saying. I am, well, I said like, oh, what's this? This is different. I'm proud of myself for doing this, so I don't feel bad. Like, I just don't believe what you're saying. I'm not insecure about what you're saying, and, so I don't feel bad. I actually kind of, when he was doing what he was doing, I was actually kind of smirking, and I felt bad, because I know you're supposed to take it seriously, but I was like, this was really hard for me to do, and I'm here, so I'm really proud of myself for that, and I don't believe what you're saying, like, I'm not trying hard enough. And I was just like, I was apologizing, like, I'm sorry, I don't really feel. But he's like, the point of the exercise is kind of like, you hold onto the rope, and he's shaking it, and it's like, at the end, So how do you feel when I'm shaking it? It's like, I feel bad, I feel tense, I feel angry, I feel annoyed, like you're making me feel uncomfortable. And then he says, let go of the rope. And that's supposed to be like a release of tension and make you feel like you're not responsible for the other person's actions or their feelings. You're not making them feel anything. They're feeling it themselves. Which is good. I guess I never really thought about that. Boo boo doo boo doo boo. Burr, burr. I think I want to do this color dungeon. I'll have to find where that is. Yeah, I definitely had more to say about that, but it was just too long ago. That was everything that I wrote down on my notes. I'm gonna go back to the town and buy, I think you can buy a bow and arrow. I have to spend my money. Come on. I have too much money. Yeah, he was talking about the major thing I guess he brought up was like, you're not responsible for how other people feel. So maybe one of the reasons why you don't talk as much is because you're worried about hurting other people, or but he said you can't cause anybody to feel anything. They feel it themselves. And I do have a little bit of trouble with that. I did mention it to him, like, well, what if it's somebody who is important to me, like my parents? I don't want them to feel bad. So, I mean, I understand what he's saying, but it's not really, it doesn't feel true totally. Like, if there's something that I could say to hurt somebody, and if there's something to say, then technically I did cause them to feel bad by saying that thing, because I could have not said it and they would have felt okay. So, like, I don't want my parents to feel bad, so I wouldn't say anything that would cause them. And that's when he was kind of like, well, yeah, you don't want to hurt anybody, but if your needs aren't getting met, then you have an obligation to yourself to say the thing that you need to say. Which is going to be really hard for me. Where's the other shop? So maybe tomorrow I'm going to work on the... That's a lot of money. Oh yeah, remember you can actually steal stuff. I didn't know that until recently, because I never tried to steal it. But you can steal from this guy. I'm not sure what happens after that. So yeah, tomorrow I think I'll work on that. What my needs are. It's gonna be tough. I have some notes, but okay. Okay. See you tomorrow.